Hey y'all, it's Miss A. Today we're going to be looking at some percent problems, and we're going to be setting up and using proportions to solve these percent problems. We're going to keep it very simple today. Today's Friday, and I know I have a lot of kids that didn't get yesterday's assignment done. So I wanted to give y'all an opportunity to get some missing assignments made up if you have any. But we are doing something new. We have to move on. We're going to look at percent problems, like I said. So here we have a table, and it says the table shows a list of candidates and how many votes they received in a recent election. Who received 50% of the votes? Who received 50% of the votes? All right, so to solve this problem, we are going to set up a proportion, okay? Now, the problem with this one is they give us a lot of numbers. They give us Shelby, John, Sarah, 3 numbers to go off of, and we don't know which one we need exactly because it says who received 50% of the votes. So let's start off with what I do know. I know that I'm looking for 50%, and if you remember from several units ago, 50% can be written as a fraction as 50 over 100. Okay, so there is our first ratio that we know. 50% is 50 to 100. And I don't know who 50% is quite yet, because that's what I'm solving for, but I do know this is the total. Y'all always know I like to put words with these numbers, so I know what they go to. But I don't know what 50% is yet, because that's what I'm solving for. So now I've got to put one more ratio over here, one more fraction, in order for it to be a proportion, but I don't know who I'm talking about, so I can't put one of these numbers. But if 100 is the total, I could come up with the total number of votes by taking these 3 numbers and adding them together. So let's add these together first. I get 0, 10, carry the 1, 1, 2, and 3, and you get 300. So 300 doesn't represent the 50% of the votes, it represents the 100%, so I'm going to put 300 right here. And I'm solving for this piece because I want to know who, or which of these numbers, receive 50% of the total 300 votes. So all I'm going to do here is I could cross multiply and then divide by 100. I could simplify by 10 and cross off a 0. I could simplify by 50 if I really wanted to. But the easiest thing to do here is recognize that there's a relationship going from 100 over to 300. I can get from 100 up to 300 by multiplying, and 100 times 3 will get me 300. So all I have to do here at the top to keep it equivalent is multiply by the same factor. So I'm going to multiply by 3 here. So 50 times 3 will get me my missing value. 50 times 3, 0, and then 15. So X equals 150 votes. So my answer is who received 50%? Okay, I know 50% of 300 is 150, so Shelby. Shelby is my answer. If I wanted to know who got 25%, I would put 25 over 100. If it said 30%, I put 30 over 100, depending on what it is. The number is always going to be 300 here because the total number of votes was 300. All right, let's do another problem. It's not kind of similar. It says students at Indian Spring were asked their favorite cake flavor. The results are shown on the table. Which flavor received 35% of the responses? 35% of the responses. So again, I don't know which flavor I'm talking about, so I can't use specifically 200 or 175 or 125, but what I can do is know that 35% can be written as a ratio as 35 over 100, because the percentage is always out of 100 no matter what it is. Again, I don't know what flavor goes with 35. It's going to be one of these, but I don't know quite yet. But I do know that 100 is my total. And then the last number I'm going to fill in is not one of these specifically because I don't know what I'm talking about, but I could come up with the total number of votes by adding these 3 numbers together. So I get 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, a 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 500 represent the total votes or total responses, whatever you want to say. So again, percent goes over 100, 35% over 100. I don't know what number goes with 35% quite yet. That's what I'm solving for. But I know 500 was my 100% total votes. All right, again, I could cross multiply and divide here. I can't cross off zeros because the numbers don't both end in a 0, so I can't divide by 10, which is what crossing off the zeros actually does. But I do have a relationship going here. That should always be my first goal if I can see it. So 100 times 5 will get you 500. So all I have to do here to keep it equivalent is multiply by the same exact factor of 5. So 35 times 5 will get me my answer. So I get 25, 15, 16, 17, 175. So 35% is 175 of 500. So the one that got 35% of the votes was vanilla. And that is it, guys. It's pretty simple. It's just coming up with the proportion. Again, recognizing that anytime you have a percent, that ratio or rate, whatever you want to call the fraction, is always over the number 100, no matter what the percent is. It's always 100 as the denominator. And here we had to find the total for the table by adding everything up, and we were solving for that 35%. You could have cross multiplied here, 35 times 500, and then divided by 100. But hopefully y'all can recognize that there was a relationship going from 100 to 500 by multiplying by 5. And make sure when you do that relationship, you do it to both the top and the bottom in order to keep it equivalent. If y'all have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me on Zoom or send me an email in Canvas. Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all soon. Talk to y'all later. Bye.